Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to start working on a woodworking project. I glued up 3 boards last night to start the project, and what this is going to be, we're going to have a series of candles across here and horseshoes for the legs and make a nice little candle stand here. What I've done to get us started, I've taken 2 pieces of oak and sandwiched in between I have a piece of pine. This is something I've never done, but what I'm trying to do is make a little bit of a contrast here with the woods, and then of course then we'll put a finish on when we're done. So the next thing we need to do here is round these corners off. They're actually very sharp, and then sand the corners on the edges. So I'll go ahead and get set up and we'll get started on that. Okay, now there's a couple ways to do this. Easiest way and probably the most accurate is to do it on the router table, which I have, and use a round over bit. But I'm going to do it by hand today. I particularly enjoy using hand planes. This one is an old one that my dad had. It's not a high-end plane, but it works. And what I do, I make multiple passes on here. And just gradually, as I plane, turn the plane down. There, that's pretty good. Okay, and then I'll hit it with a sander and smooth any rough spots off. There, that does a really nice job. Now I'll go ahead and do all 4 sides. There's no reason to leave the camera running and bore you to death with doing that, so I'll shut the camera off and do all 4 sides. Okay, I've gone ahead and set up my Moxon vise on the, I think that's how you pronounce it, on my workbench here, and held it down with holdfasts, and they are very good at clamping something this way, and you need to go down through. So what I'm going to do is take my sander here and do the edges here, sand them down. I'm not going to put as much of a round as I did on the side edges, because that's really what you're going to see, but I do want to take these down to a degree. Now, because this is just the edge, I changed it to a bit of a more aggressive sandpaper, so let's give this a try and see how it goes. There, that's pretty good. We're just knocking that sharp edge off of there. We'll go ahead and flip it around and do the other side. Okay, that did pretty good. And we'll hit that with some fine sandpaper before we put the finish on. Okay, next thing we're going to do is lay out, we're going to drill holes in the top here, 2-inch holes, down about 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch for the candles to sit in. We're going to have 5 going across, so we'll lay this out. Now I've kind of worked this out ahead of time. We're going to come in 2 inches on each side. And then every 2.5 inches will work out just perfect. Two and a half, 1, 2.5, half, 1, 2, 1, 2.5. Okay, that works out perfectly. And this is 14, this is 5 inches across, so we want to go 2.5 inches this way. Okay, now we want to drill this with a Forstner bit, and using a Forstner bit, it's a little bit difficult to get that bit started in here. It has a sharp point. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our hammer and just punch a little hole here at each spot where we're going to drill to help us line up the bit. Okay, there we go. Now it's time to head over to the drill press and drill these holes. I'll get it set up and then we'll go over there and start the camera. Okay, we're set up to go here at the drill press. This is the Forstner bit I was talking about. As you can see, the point there, that's what starts it into the wood. And I have the punch marks in here to help me line that up. Now, Forstner bits do a very nice job and drill a very clean hole in wood. Now, the other thing I want to point out, this drill press will only drill so far. So I have it set to the depth that I want, and it'll stop, and I can't push it any further. So we'll go ahead and drill these holes out, and then we'll be done with this section. There we go, that one's lined up. I find it helps to line these up before you start drilling. Okay, there's one. there's two. Now I'm going to shut the camera off and finish drilling these. There's no reason to run the camera through all of these. As you can see, Forstner bit does a very nice job on these, and you also see that it didn't matter pencil marks or anything because it gets cut out anyway. So we'll see you back over at the workbench. Okay, all of our holes are drilled. It's looking good. What I've done, I'm going to give it a light sanding. I put on more of a finishing sandpaper on here, and then we'll be ready to finish this piece. Okay, looks good. I'll get my finish out and we'll put a coat on here. I'm going to put a coating of tung oil on here. I'd like to use tung oil on these little projects, particularly when there's really nothing requiring a hard finish on. In other words, it's not like we're going to be walking on this a tabletop where we're going to be wiping it off all the time. It's just going to be holding these candles, and so tung oil finish is just about perfect for that. Okay, let's put some finish on. Tung oil is a wipe-on finish, so you just can use a rag, you can use a paintbrush if you want. I've even seen people use their bare fingers and just put it on with it. I don't care to do that. I put gloves on. I'm setting this up on these little things. I don't know what they're called. Paint supplies have them, probably Home Depot, Lowe's. You can get these, and whatever you're doing sits just on the points. That way you can flip it over and do both sides. Tung oil gives oak a nice sheen. I really like using it. And the beauty of tung oil is one of the primary reasons I like it is it dries really fast. You can put the next coat on quickly and requires very little sanding in between. In fact, I usually, after the first coat, I'll put maybe a really light sanding on it, if anything at all, and then I don't sand it again after that. And you can, years from now, just put another coat on top of it. You don't have to do anything in particular. And another factor with tung oil is the more coats you put on, the more sheen it gets. In other words, your first coat looks kind of a satin finish. then it'll start to, the more coats you put on, it gets kind of a glossy appearance. So you can kind of adjust it to what you want. I myself kind of like the satin look, but hey, if you like glossy, that's fine. Yips. You can see how easy this goes on. Even a non-painter person like me can do a nice job with tung oil. There, doesn't that look nice? Now you can see the effect I'm going for with that piece of pine in there. Give it a little bit of variation. Like I said, I've never done this before. Hopefully I'll like it when it's finished. It's looking good so far. Okay, that looks good. We'll go ahead and let this dry, put another coat on, and then we can start on the legs. Okay, I put another coat on. So we have 2 coats of tung oil on there. I'm ready to put the legs on. These are legs that I had made up before, and what I did, I made them out of horseshoes and spray painted them first with primer and then with black paint. Now these are shoes that came off of our horses. We don't have horses anymore, but to my right are the stalls are still here in the garage / barn. So they are not brand new out of the box. They've been adjusted by the farrier. The farrier is the blacksmith that shoes horses. So they've been bent. They're worn on the top here unevenly. One's worn more than the other one. So that it's very difficult to get them on there nice and straight and even so that it doesn't rock or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and mount these with the camera off because I'm going to have to fuss and fidget, and there's no reason for you to sit there and watch me for 10 minutes while I get these on here straight, because I'm just going to put them on with, you know, a screw on each side. It's pretty simple. So I'll go ahead and shut the camera off, and once I get these on, I'll come back to you and we'll wrap up this project. Okay, we're all finished. As you can see, everything worked out. I got the horseshoes on here nice and square. It sits nice and level, doesn't wobble. I was a little concerned about that because the farriers do bend those shoes up quite a bit. So everything worked out. I'm really pleased with how the sandwiched wood turned out. Now, do I know that there's not going to be any problems because I have two different woods? Oak is obviously a hard wood, pine is a soft wood. They're going to expand and contract differently. Is it going to cause problems? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I wouldn't think so. But I'm very pleased with how it turned out. It looks very nice, and I think anyone would be proud to have one of these in their home. So I hope you get out into your shop and make one. Doesn't really matter how thick these are. Again, they're 14 inches long, 5 inches wide, but you can make anything you want. You can make one for 3 candles, 2 candles. You can make one for 10 candles. It really doesn't matter. I'll put a link down below for the drill bit that I use to drill these holes that they sit in, and I'll even put a link to the candles. I do urge you, if you buy candles somewhere else, which would be fine, buy the candles before you buy the drill bit to make sure they fit, because different manufacturers may make different sizes. I'm going to come around and get you a close-up of this, and then we'll wrap things up. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below if you like it. I'd like some feedback on it, and we'll catch you on the next video.